Alright, hello everybody. This is a little bit of a different video. Uh, my name is DW, you can just call me Dell, and this is week 7 of BBR. And unfortunately, for me, my audio file on my video corrupted and only has the actual in-game sound. So it's not like a corrupted file. What ended up kind of is, I don't know really how to explain it. I did an update on my Windows, and it changed my default mic. So the whole video, there's no mic noises, but there's in-game sound because I tried to record it like a normal person and it didn't work. This is week 7 against MidPokeMaster, and it's one of those battles that I really wish you had my live reaction to because there was a lot of ups and downs. We are going to play it back at relatively fast speed. I'm really hoping that this recording works for it so I don't have to do this a second time. But, going into this, I was fairly confident. I thought I had a really good matchup against mid. I had a whole plan set up, and I made a very crucial mistake that we are going to see, and you'll see it relatively early on. We lead Grimmsnarl because that was my whole plan. I was going to lead Grimmsnarl. I was going to parting shot or T-wave or put up screens. And if you know me, you'd know I haven't really played mods since about Gen 7. Well, there was a mechanic in Gen 7 that existed where Prankster no longer works on dark types. Chi-Yu is a dark type. This is knowledge that everybody should know. Grimmsnarl is a Prankster Pokemon. This is also knowledge that everybody should understand. I decided, you know what? It's a really great turn 1? Let's T-wave the Chi-Yu that is immune to Prankster and throw the game away. And as you can see, I kind of just sit there defeated. Because at this point I know. My entire game plan was meant to function around screens being up. And at this point, I was so shaken mentally. It's one of my buddies, Owen, he told me going into this season, Smogon is very different, and Showdown leagues are very different from Wi-Fi, because this is my first Wi-Fi league on YouTube here. Sometimes in Wi-Fi, you're going to make one mistake, and it's literally going to cost you the entire game, and that's kind of what I did. I just made one very, very crucial mistake and lost arguably the most important mon on my team for this week. Dual screens was supposed to help me get into SD Sizzler a lot easier. It was to help me get into my Dragonite a lot easier. Pivot the Palafin around like crazy. And have, this Mudsdale actually do something. We were Spadef for what it's worth to, kind of help deal with things. But Mid just brought the right stuff. And we lost our playoffs opportunity because of this. And it just sucks, But looking back on it, I'm really proud of the season that we had. The 3 wins I did have. We beat Jorge in the opening week, and that was a really big confidence booster for me. We beat Amel, who's arguably, like I said, one of the top 10 players in Gen 9 format. He's extremely, extremely good when he's on his A game, and we beat Amel in arguably one of the most important matchups of the season, so that we didn't completely fall off. And then we beat Gray, who's a very, very good battler, runs leagues. Gray is a staple name within the community, so we did take some key wins this season. We can also chalk up the fact I had a pretty difficult schedule, all things considering. I think it was something like only 2 of the teams that I played all season didn't make playoffs, being Mid and Jorge. So, we can look at that, kind of reflect and be like, you know what, yeah. Technically Q didn't make playoffs easier, but Q went on a run at the end of the season there. Like, I think if Q had started with the team, probably would have made playoffs, because Q is a much, much better battler than his record would show for the season. So we did end up, winning that one. But it's one of those games where you kind of reflect on it, and you just have to learn from it. And I'm really excited going forward. I think our next league is going to be really good. We do have, I guess this is kind of the announcement for it. We do have the PBA coming to the channel. That one's actually ran by Gray. or Jack. And I'm really excited to show you guys the team for that one. I'm going to put a lot more effort into like team builder videos, pre-games for those, because I'm really excited with the team. A lot of my buddies have really like helped me learn a lot more. I think my draft is way better than what we did for this one. I have more than one Mon over base 100 or base 100 or higher, which is big improvements from the last draft because I put myself in a position where I made my matchups harder every week because of how I drafted, basically, and how I thought I would be able to play this gen, and you just can't do it. So I made those adjustments, and I think I've learned a lot this generation. Um, if we go back to the actual battle now that you're kind of watching in the background, this is the situation where I knew I lost when Rotom revealed Rest, and I hadn't psychicked twice into it at the appropriate time, and this was when it was over, And it's one of those unfortunate situations where you're gonna lose. It's just how bad are you gonna lose? And I did try to save a little bit of differential near the end of the game, at least try to gain a kill. Which, spoiler alert, we do end up doing. So I don't get 6-0'd at all this season, which is a small, very 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 small victory, but a victory nonetheless. And you can't really, can't take it too hard on yourself. I was a little upset after this battle because I knew exactly what I did wrong, which was not understanding a game mechanic that I experience almost every single day in prep. I've been using Grimmsnarl a ton in prep. I mock a bunch of people for their Smogon Tour games, and I've used Grimmsnarl a bunch in that. Or just any prankster Pokemon that's a dark type, like any prankster Pokemon into dark type Pokemon, the whole shebang. And I completely blew it in the end, and that's how she goes sometimes. But I'm excited moving forward, like I said, and the BBR playoffs are going to be phenomenal. I have a bunch of basically everybody in playoffs deserves to be there. If you haven't checked it out already, go check out everybody's Week 7 games because there were a ton that mattered a bunch for playoffs and some really, really close ones that came down to the wire. This is coming out on the same day as theirs are. Mine's just a little later in the evening, but I got to watch a bunch of them live, or I've watched a bunch this morning because this is coming out around this will be up probably closer to I'd say 8 o'clock 8 o'clock PST, something like that. And the thumbnail will probably just be a big thank you, because that's all I can say at the end of the day. I hit 30 subs. You guys have been coming out to every video. Everything's doing well. If you haven't checked it out, please watch last week's video. The Metacham is probably one of the coolest things I've done in this generation in terms of prep and actually following through with it in game. So please go run that video up. It's sitting at something like 40 views right now, so if you can get it to 50, that'd make me really happy, Panda. And yeah, I'm gonna let I want to say I'm gonna let the end of this video kind of run out, but I think we're close to probably about 10 minutes of me rambling on here. So and fun fact, we don't kill this Donphan until Palafin comes back in, I believe. So I'm just going to skip ahead to that because you don't need to see Dragonite kind of getting bodied by Rocky Helmet and Body Press and everything like that. We do kill Donphan here. And then we end up just losing at the end of the game to Chi-Yu. Pretty straight up. He preserves everything appropriately. Slowbro goes down. Palafin comes back in. And Palafin ties to the Dark Pulse because I lose a speed tie, as I found out. Which, that happens. This is one of those games where I was just kicking myself at the end of it. But yeah. Thank you guys again for watching all the BBR content this season. Playlist down below. Go check out the other videos. Go check out the other coaches. Everybody's super awesome. Huge thank you to D-Ray, to Kurt, to the rest of the admin team, to the other battlers in the league. You guys were awesome. Thanks for including me in something that I think is going to be a big thing on YouTube here pretty soon in the Draftmon community. So that's going to be it for me. My name is D-Devil. You can call me Del. And I'll catch you guys next time. If you like the video, click like down below. If you want to subscribe, feel free to. And if you don't, I don't care because it's my video. Have a great